my friend's sister went on Facebook or maybe it was Instagram, whatever social media, and she goes, "Hey, I just want to let everybody know Beachbody.com is not a pyramid scheme. Okay? There's a lot of misinformation out there. It's not a pyramid." Now, what Beachbody is, for those of you who don't know, is it's like this pyramid scheme, clearly a multi-level marketing scheme like Amway or like anything else, which is based on you converting your dumb friends and selling them shit because they're fat. And you go, oh, a group of friends, we're all going to motivate each other better than celebrities and trainers will. No, your group of friends is why you're fat. You don't change with the group of friends. You get rid of them. You get rid of the fatties. No, it's your group of friends is the reason you're fucked. You're gonna try to change 6 people's lives at once? Who the fuck does that? So that's the whole thing about Beachbody. And then you become like a coach or a Beachbody coach, and you put up all these motivational things like, it's 5 a.m. and I want to stay in bed, but I'm not because I'm a Beachbody coach. Now, if you buy the meals and the shakes, you too can be a Beachbody Diamond member. And you just climb up this. But I love the... So Beachbody, by the way, of course, had to like address the idea that they were this multi-level marketing thing. Okay. They actually, on their website, they're basically like, listen, we're not a pyramid scheme. Wikipedia defines a pyramid scheme as this. Does that sound like what we're doing? And then the difference between what they do and what an actual pyramid scheme is literally nothing. And as you read it, it's like hilarious. Beachbody discusses pyramid schemes and multi-level marketing, right? This is great. You may be asking, is direct selling the same as multi-level marketing? Is it a pyramid scheme? A Ponzi scheme? Is it a scam? How do people make money? And what's the opportunity for me? Lots of great questions, and we'll take one by one. Simply put, according to Wikipedia, direct selling is the marketing and selling of products directly to consumers away from a fixed retail location. So it's the guy that shows up, opens his trunk, and sells you shit. In other words, that's not what it says on Wikipedia. I'm adding that in. This is what they say. They go, so what about pyramid schemes? A pyramid scheme or Ponzi scheme is something completely different and far more harmful, like a scam. That's far more harmful. It's like a scam. Is Beachbody a pyramid scheme? No. Team Beachbody coaches make money from actual sales of genuine fitness and nutrition products and hard work, not from recruiting fees or business fees. Coaches are never paid to recruit people and do not earn money from recruiting. Yeah, they earn money when they sell people the shit. Our mission is to help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. How do people become coaches? Do they make money by selling Shakeology? Our coaches start as customers, right? A la pyramid scheme. Beachbody. Once they start to get results, people tend to notice and ask what they are doing. No one does that, by the way. People go, oh, you look great. You lost weight. Some people go, what are you doing? You go, nobody wants to hear. At that point, people only want to hear like a one-word answer. Low carb, slow carb, keto, paleo, walk around the block. I cut out booze. Nobody wants to hear this. Like, ask me, you look a little thinner. What have you been doing?
You look a little thinner. What have you been doing?
Take a seat. I've been waiting for you to ask me this. I've become a member of a very fulfilling new group that holds each other accountable. Have you heard of Shakeology?
I haven't.
Why are you looking at me like that? Sit down and get ready for the secret. I'm about to tell you the secret about Shakeology. Some companies have used direct sales model. Where are you going? I just want to talk about Shakeology. Do you have your credit card on you? We can get you started right now. They enjoy helping others achieve the results they've achieved using Beachbody products and want to share with others. So they sign up to be coaches. You could sign up to be a coach for $40. Dude, we're doing this. $40, I could sign up to be a coach. Plus $16 a month. Here's Team Beachbody coach Joan Crocker's story. She's been suffering from depression and was gaining weight. Her husband introduced her to Beachbody. She bought Insanity and worked out hard to the complete 60-day program. She said, I found my confidence and happiness again. I felt better physically, mentally, and emotionally. And then I decided I wanted to rob others. Here's Team Jen Richardson's story at Beachbody. She was 2 months postpartum with her second son and searching for teaching jobs where she could put her master's degree to use. But because the country is a bag of shit, she decided to sell people fitness shakes because life is a hell. Like that, if this was honest, that's what it would really. She tried to use her master's degree, but because she couldn't find any work, she decided it was much more fulfilling to start hawking fitness shakes to her friends. That was a much better way to go about earning money. Sure, her passion was for education. She wanted to teach kids how to read. But hey, you know what's a good close second? Teaching your fat friend how to hawk shakes. I would plunge a knife into my own throat before I would sit down and have to look at someone in the face and say the word Shakeology. Mm-hmm. If you say the word Shakeology with a straight face, you need to be in a cell. Yeah, Shakeology. I love it. It's 6 a.m. I was going to sleep in, but that's not what I'm about. I just made a quick shake, and I'm ready to work out, burn some calories. Hey, do you want to look and feel good too? Well, get your credit card out, because you want to, come on in. You're going to be a coach. You start as a fat shit, but you end up a coach. Don't you want to be a coach? Well, I don't have any skills. Shut up. You're going to be a coach. I don't really know anything about nutrition or fitness. It doesn't matter. The people at Shakeology have provided us with all the information we'll need. All you have to find is 5 other fat fucks that are desperate, that have postpartum depression. I love who this is being marketed to. They're like, Jeannie's story was great. She was laying on the floor of her trailer thinking about who's this product for? People that have given up all hope. Jeannie was sitting in her car with the engine on in her garage. She was 3 gasps away from meeting Jesus. And then Jeannie went inside and she saw that her good friend at work had lost 3 pounds by drinking shakes all day. So Jeannie said, God, her friend had posted on Facebook that there was a unique money-making opportunity in the fitness world. Jeannie had always wanted a beach body. She never had one. She had, scars. She had stretch marks that looked like spiders crawling up her stomach. But she wanted that beach body. So she saw one of her friends on Facebook go, hey, are you laying on the floor of your apartment thinking of reasons not to kill yourself? Maybe you should become a beach body coach. You can look good and feel good. I love who this is marketed to. Let's keep going on by the way, I wonder if any of them were like, this person was doing good and they decided to get involved. Right. Or is everybody has a gun in their mouth before they decide, which of course you have to lower yourself to this, to lower yourself to hawking fitness shakes to your friends. You have to be ready to kill yourself. Hillary Kelly remembers her early days as a Team Beachbody coach and how she built her business through hard work. I'm not a nutrition expert, but I started with the simple approach of sharing my story both in person and on Facebook. Here's how that should have ended. I'm not a nutrition expert, so I didn't get involved. End of post. I'm not a nutrition expert, so I shut my mouth and went on my merry way. But no, she decided, she goes, I'm not a nutrition expert, but I started with a simple approach of sharing my story both in person and on Facebook. I think people responded to that. I had no agenda except to help people get fit. If you break it down, that's what this business is all about. Yeah. These people talk in fucking like pamphlets, you know?
Right.
I had no agenda. Who said you did, bitch? You seem a little guilty. Doth protest too much. They're like, it's not a pyramid scheme. I had no agenda. I'm not fucking you. I didn't do anything. I didn't go in your purse when you were in the bathroom? What are you saying? What do you mean there was $20 on the wallet when I walked in? You better talk to Shakeology. I love all of the fucking examples of people that they use. She was suffering from depression and was gaining weight. Her husband introduced her to Beachbody. Her husband was like, listen, you fat, sad bitch. You better clean it up and you better start bringing in some money into this house. What a nice guy, huh? He introduced her to Beachbody. She's depressed. He didn't introduce her to a doctor. He didn't introduce her to a therapist. He introduced her to a multi-level marketing scam. Honey, you seem depressed. You don't get out of bed all day. Why don't you start hawking fitness plans? Why don't you get your monthly sales numbers up? That's why you feel like shit, because you're laying in bed every day and not selling shakes to your friends. I love it so much. I love it so much, man. I love how everybody using this is completely... Our Team Beachbody Coach Network is over 400,000 strong. God help us. I got to start doing this, man. Now, by the way, I'm going to tell the audience this. If Beachbody contacts me and pays me money, I will sell Shakeology and I will delete this episode. I tell you that all the time in full disclosure. I give a fuck about you pigs. I will shove shakes down your throat so fucking fast, you fat slobs. I will put a shake in my ass if Beachbody tells me to, if they want to spend some fucking money. That's what I do. I ridicule these companies and try to get them. I'll become a fitness coach. What, I got to make some motivational Facebook post? I'll do that. Can easily do that. I used to be fat. I used to eat pizza. Not even good pizza, like Papa John's, Domino's, because I liked the way it felt in my mouth, warm and gooey, like I was eating my own insides. Anyway, then I went online and saw a friend of mine was marginally less fat. And I asked her, I said, hey, fatty, are you less fat? She said, yes. I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, I'm part of an online community that provides me the support and the nutrition products I need. And I said, well, get me in on the ground floor and let's go and spread the word of Shakeology. Are there COVID bug chasers? Like, there's bug chasers where people want to get HIV. Yeah. Are there people that just want coronavirus? They're like, I need it. I need to get COVID.
Just going to Walmart, walking
There
around.
are bug chasers, people that want to get HIV. And you've watched documentaries about this. Why do they want to do it?
I mean, it's clearly like a self-destructive thing, right? So they I think it's truckers mostly.
Truckers
is like, that's
want to get HIV.
I think so. I mean, it's
truckers. They don't have enough problems. Self-driving cars, Elon Musk. They just want to get AIDS. That's how bad it is. The truckers want to get AIDS because job security in this country is so... Is that really who it is, truckers?
I imagine it's like glory hole guys at truck stop bathrooms. They pick up prostitutes and stuff on the road. It gets lonely. Some of those guys...
Ben's imagination is so dark and troubling, even to me, that asking him to even just a simple question, he goes down a very dreary and disturbing, and he's creating this reality where there's just lonely truckers on the road at glory holes that just want, and now why do they want AIDS? I don't understand. I get lonely, I get trucker, I get glory hole. I don't get AIDS.
I guess you just want to die, right? It's like this sick, people were like, I'm a piss pig, like piss all over me and shit all over me. Like, yeah, give me all your diseases that you have. I'm a piece of shit.
Are those the truckers as well? They're getting pissed and shit on?
Some of them are piss pigs and,
Now, what is a piss pig?
Someone who wants you to piss on them, piss in their mouth. They want to drink piss. They want to feel really filthy.
I feel like my attitude about drinking piss has always been situational, where it's like, I feel like if it's appropriate to do at the time, you might want to taste a little bit, but then probably spit it out.
You're open to it. Interesting.
Well, I don't want, if someone is hot enough, if someone is good looking enough, they can get you to do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. If someone is good looking enough, they could get me to go to a holiday with my family.
That's true.
You know what? So I think that if somebody's really good looking, says, piss in I will go to piss in your mouth, you have to say, okay. No? Shit is a different story.
Yes.
A really good-looking person says, I want to shit on you, that is probably disturbing. Because then you tell all your friends, like, oh, I fucked this person, they're really hot. And then they go, wow, yeah, how was it? And you go, well, I got shit on. And then it ruins the story, I would imagine, right? It ruins the story.
Yeah.
Or people are more intrigued. It's odd how sexuality develops. Like, it's very strange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always thought I might not be gay if women were more intelligent.
Is that true?
I always believed that. So if women had a little bit more up here, I would probably fuck them. That's a joke. We have many female fans, and that's an ironic joke because people expect my audience to be full of misogynists, and it's not. It's full of sensitive, crying men and lovely women. And that's what we have more women all the time.
All the time.
All the time they're rolling in here, these ladies.
The couples watch together.
The couples watch together. Isn't that nice? And as soon as quarantine ends, we know what happens to those relationships. Bow!
Sheath underwear.
Oh, yeah. We got to do these live. Sheath underwear. It is good. It is good. A lot of the things we advertise, we don't even know what they are before we read the ads. We really have no idea. I remember when we were advertising Monday.com and they got mad. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I read the whole ad. I go, I don't know what it is. Still, I didn't know what it was. Monday.com. I'm like, I don't know. What is it? They're like, it's a peer-to-peer software. I'm like, what? Yeah. What is this? But sheath underwear is underwear. It's actually underwear. It's good. It's support. You have the pouch for your penis and balls. And if you're a woman with a penis and balls, or a man with a penis and balls, or you don't identify in the gender binary and you have a penis and balls, or you've added a nice tiny little penis and balls that was sculpted out of a vagina, like some flabby loose vag skin that they made into a little Vienna sausage corkscrew peen, but you're like, fuck yeah, I feel better like this. Or if you've taken a penis and then and I often think of doing this, and just splitting it right down the middle and throwing up the turkey on either side of the leg and having a vag, but I still keep my sack. Any configuration of 2021 genitalia, sheath underwear, is great. Whether it's a cock or just a flab of fucking beef you want to stick in there, you can do whatever you need. You could swim in them. We use them as swimsuits, you know. They're great. Doesn't matter. It's good. You should, the guy's a big comedy fan, which is why I can do this. If you go to sheathunderwear.com, is this the guy who's in the military?
Yes.
This guy started an underwear company after he got back from Iraq. So support him. Sheathunderwear.com. Use code Tim to save 20% off. If you use code Tim, you save 20% off the underwear.
And then this is BetterHelp.
I mean, if you've listened to the show, if you have any familiarity with this show, the idea that this company, I mean, truly amazing, that they would do this ad.
We promise to be good for this run of the ads.
And I'm being good.
You're being good.
I'm
You've
saying
been good.
I'm shocked and pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
We have a long history. Mm-hmm. We have a long history with them. Mm-hmm. And that's nice. But it's good because what it is it's counseling. Do you get that? It's counseling when you're sad or when you're mad. Dan has problems. You went to a therapist, right? Dan has problems because Dan graduated college and went, wait a minute, why? Why do I have to leave it, you know? Many shitty people in his generation are like, why do the beer pong tournaments have to end? But they do. So he got sad about that. He was sad. And he had to go to a therapist and go, I don't understand what's going on. He had to leave Florida. He had to leave the beach, put on shoes, and be a human being. And it was sad and challenging and new. But during the pandemic, it's hard. I'm not. Who cares?
No, I just don't.
I get it.
Dinner in the code.
I
it's
can.
a whole thing.
I mean, I love they send the copy. Like I don't know what I'm doing. It's when you're sad or mad or anxious or you're in a loveless marriage, you can call BetterHelp.com. HELP. BetterHelp.com. What's the promo code on the old
So
BetterHelp?
this I have to read directly. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Tim Dillon Show listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/TimD.
Yay!
All right, round one of ads done.
BetterHelp.
If you're thinking about taking an environmentally sound vacation, because that's most people right now, most people in America are concerned with their carbon footprint when they travel. Is that not true? Is that not true? Isn't that why we love cruises so much? Because it's an efficient way to get 3,000 morbidly obese people out into the middle of the ocean. Is that not why we're doing it? But they're at CBS News, by the way. Now imagine running this story. I mean, this is kind of hilarious. So CBS News, in the midst of what's going on, where we have one of our presidents is indicted, one of our presidents, Donald Trump, our ex-president, was indicted. Joe Biden is going to be, perhaps dealing with some stuff about the Burisma, the energy company in the Ukraine, that's coming out that he had deals with him and his son. We have this real crisis of confidence in our political systems, with our Justice Department maybe acting politically. We have issues all over the place. And CBS has decided that right now the most important thing to focus on is how much methane gas is being used on your trip in the summer. Now, a lot of Americans cannot afford to go on a trip. Now, of course, CBS doesn't cover that. CBS doesn't cover that. They don't cover the fact that there's people that are lining up at food banks because they can't eat. Their children are going to bed hungry. They can't find work. They're living in areas of the country that we've given up on. Rural America, we don't give a shit. Republican, Democrat, whoever. Nobody gives a fuck about any of these. So they're not talking to those people. But they are talking to people, I guess, that are going to take a vacation. Not only are they going to take a vacation, but they have the luxury of thinking about how to do it in an environmentally sound way. CBS News, let's watch this right. And by the way, when you watch this, it is the most insane segment I have seen in a very long time from the media, and that tells you something. Let's watch the good people at CBS News, The Weekender.
This summer, some people are looking for ways to take a vacation while also cutting down on their greenhouse gas emissions.
Who?
The ecotourism market is expected to exceed $331 billion by 2027, according to new research data. Ecotourism can have an impact on where some people choose to visit and how they get there. Let's bring in Tree Minch, a features editor for Discover magazine. Tree, let's talk about some destinations where folks can actually give back to the planet.
I love this, by the way. I love CBS News. They go, is there a way we can do, because we're trying to push this ecotourism thing, is there a way we could do it with a trans person named Tree? Is there a way we can do this segment with a trans person named Tree? They're like, we have a trans person named Sarah. They go, no. We'd like a and no shade to Tree, but it's just very funny. And again, let's watch some of this because it is just very funny, this idea that like ecotourism, which by the way is the most loosely defined thing ever. It's just going to be rich people going to like nice places, and they're going to go, it's ecotourism. They want to lower their carbon footprint. It's glamping. And it's like, okay, they're not primarily concerned with their carbon footprint. They want to take Instagram photos in Montana in a tent. But all right, let's see what Tree has to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this whole local movement that we've been seeing as a trend across the country, I think that tourism is an amazing place where it fits in. One of the first places
Tree Mensch.
to think about is things like
Tree's a real mensch.
State parks and county parks that have a wealth of opportunities for amazing destinations to immerse yourself in, but also the money you're spending there, the activities you're doing are typically directly going back into actually sustaining that environment.
Right, so go scuba diving.
And that's under a list of guidelines and understanding that experts and scientists have of watching what's happening in these ecosystems and making sure they're balanced and healthy for everybody that visits, as well as all the creatures and plants that live there.
Well, it's great to know that you can actually do it locally and not spend a lot of money to travel. But let's say you do decide to travel. What are some of the activities that you can look forward to?
Sure. I mean, the list is pretty much endless. You can really cater your interests to local and very eco-friendly destinations. I mean, one example would be the ocean in general.
This is the news, by the way. This is the news in the United States of America. They're telling you can go to the ocean. This is the news. This is CBS News in the United States of America. CBS News has a segment with someone named Tree who is sitting in their room on Zoom telling you that there's something, I don't know if you've heard of it, called the ocean that you can go to. What do they think Americans do on vacations that are so ecologically unfriendly that they don't do every day of their lives? And they're using stock photo. They're using stock photo of a white woman here, I don't know, running her hand on sugarcane while she walks down. Like, these stock photos are very interesting. I don't understand what that's supposed to be. But this whole idea of eco-vacate, like, what is... So they're saying you don't have to fly. I guess you don't have to go to theme parks because they're not eco-friendly. You could go to the ocean. Okay. That's the bit. That's the segment that they're doing. Is that an example of an eco? Keep going with this because I'm curious. It's like, what are these eco-friendly But aren't most summer destinations like lakes and oceans? Yeah. Isn't most of it eco-tourism? Uh-huh. Isn't that where everyone goes in the fucking summer? What the hell is going on at CBS? Shout out to Catherine Herridge, though. She's been doing this a long time. Catherine Herridge has been at every network with that frozen face full of Restylane, like, Keep going.
Visit. So, one thing we like to plug folks into are things like there's citizen science opportunities all across the country. A great resource for that is scistarter.org, where essentially, like, you want to go to the ocean, you want to see dolphins. There are actually scientists out there who need the help of everyday citizens who are experiencing the ocean and maybe want to surveying for dolphins. Maybe
they don't need the help of American citizens.
Baby hatchlings go out into the ocean. And there's a network of organizations where
look, it's pauses for a minute. They're literally telling people that scientists need the help of people to hatch turtles and monitor dolphins? What are they doing with all this money? I have to now work as a scientist on I have a job. I have a fucking job. I have to go and hatch turtles. First of all, Americans are going to eat the things they find. They're all going into a pot. So this is just the craziest thing ever. You can be a scientist. Scientists need your help. Well, they didn't need your help about the vaccine. They didn't need your help even if you asked a question like, how about you leave it to the experts? But now we're supposed to fucking finger fuck dolphins and hatch turtles? Let's finish this up with Tree.
Science happen and unfold while you're having an amazing experience in paradise often.
What are some of the destinations and activities you should avoid if you're trying to protect the
planet? This is going to be good.
Sure. Yeah. So, it's really going to depend on what environment you are in.
Wouldn't it be great if he goes, having heterosexual sex, or she, I don't know what Tree's identifying as, having heterosexual, or they, this, thing, that, having heterosexual sex and having children and going to church. Those are the things that I think they leave the biggest carbon footprint. Having children in a heterosexual bond of marriage and going to church. Christenings, that would just be Tree. That's what I
go to parks, you go to research facilities. They're going to have a list of guidelines, things as simple as stay on the trail, which might sound kind of like simple and something that maybe our curiosity gets the best of us and we want to wander off.
Petito.
Those guidelines that are put in place are actually really dynamic to protect the health of the ecosystem that are there. So following the rules and guidelines that are there are
now CBS is using a bunch of black people who seem lost. There's a bunch of Africans. CBS is now using stock footage of a bunch of Africans whose tour bus has overturned and they're walking around in the bush, in the jungle, trying to figure out. I mean, can CBS not? Who is doing the stock footage over there at CBS? This is crazy.
From activities that you're going to do. When you really hone in on operations and things that are run by locals who live in the community, work there, it's most likely that the money that they're receiving is really going to be put back into the health and the long-term sustainability of that place for their wellness, as well as all the things that live there. So it's really good to just kind of follow those tips.
There's something called disaster tourism. What does that look like?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yeah, it can have,
Yes!
different kind of applications, where people will kind of flood into an area, in response to sort of a devastating event or something that happens there, to try and, help and offer support and things. And that will definitely, there's situations and circumstances where that's called for, but
fentanyl
usually to plug into operations like the Red Cross, operations like
No, they traffic kids. What's best is to go to San Francisco and watch, because they have crazy hats, like kind of the Western, like a Zorro hat almost, and they're in the Jazzies and they're on Fent. No, thank you. Tree's wrong. They're all wrong. As always, usual. You only have to listen to me. Thank you. That's the reality. You just do. Disaster tourism actually is. Tree was right. You do show up. You do try to help. And the response to an event, and it's a collapse of San Francisco, disaster tourism. I will shelter this woman, and I would frankly like a bit of goodwill from a community of people that's not always a fan of mine, because I'm literally saying I'm sheltering this woman if anyone tries. They're ignoring her. They're putting her in the shadows. This is everything they say they don't want. They don't want people in the shadows. They don't want them to be voiceless. Well, wait a minute. You're now doing it. You're doing it. Gascon will focus on those European awards ceremonies and skip the two stateside shows. She's been slated to appear this weekend. The Critics' Choice Awards on Friday, the Producers Guild Awards on Saturday. Whether she will attend the Screen Actors Guild on the 23rd or the Oscar ceremony next month is yet to be determined. Though Netflix will no longer cover expenses for the Spain-based star to make those trips to Los Angeles, I will. I am. I actually am. I will. First class. First class, I'm your guest. You go to the Oscars, first class. If they don't want to pay, I pay. I pay for you. What is it? Sophia Gascon? Carla Sophia Gascon Trump? I pay, you come, first class, Beverly Hills Hotel, suite, souffle on me. This month it's pink. It's a raspberry. It's stunning. You come, we go. Nobu Malibu, me and you, together forever. Many in the industry were surprised that Netflix strategist and Gascon's own publicist had failed to persuade her to scrub her old social media posts before the Oscar bid exposed her to a new level of global scrutiny. You can expect that sort of across-the-board purge to be a campaign mainstay in the future. Oh, I bet it will be. Can you find, and I don't think we can, but can you find a copyright-free I Got You Babe from Sonny and Cher? It probably doesn't exist. But I will tell you this right now. I don't know if this woman watches this program. I imagine she doesn't, but I will tell you right now, I got you, babe. I will fly you first class to my country. I will put you up in a great hotel, and I will bring you to the Academy. We will go together to the Academy Awards. The actress Emilia Perez, and I hope that she takes me up on it. I don't know that she will, but I would love to take her to the New Gaza. Yard House is like in a big California mall. It's like a massive place where people can go get like beers. You can get like an onion ring tower, and you can get like, tuna tartare wontons or something. It's like that type of restaurant. You go, you get like tuna tartare nachos. You get like there it is. Pull that up. Make that big. Right there. Make that big. That's what Yard House is. Make it big. Make it bigger. I want to see it big. This is Yard House. What is this?
This is the video. Hold on.
I don't want the video.
We don't want the video.
I just want to see. See, that's what Yard House is. There's a woman there. She's got a massive beer. She's got some type of dip in front of her. And she's got, I guess, make it smaller so we can see the onion rings. She's got a tower of onion rings. Because that's what Yard House is for, people that when you put onion rings in a tower, they go, oh, yeah. That's what Yard House is for. It's for when the onion rings hit the table and they're in a tower. It makes someone's day. It makes someone's day. And then they just have things on the menu for no reason. They'll have like shiitake garlic noodles. Look at you, fancy pants. You're having shiitake garlic noodles. It's 111 degrees out. You're in Palm Desert, California. You're in the Yard House and you're eating shiitake garlic noodles and thinking about how much money it's going to cost for your divorce. How cool is that? Yard House is for people who've just been denied a loan. That's where you go after you've just been denied a loan. And you're like, well, I can still eat good here. It's when your bank calls you and goes, there's nothing really we can do at this point. Taking into account, like you can hear the bank saying it as they wait on the line. Like you can hear like the bank being like, taking into account the income and the credit. They're like, two, please. Yeah. What? So taking into account the income and the credit, we're not able to proceed with the car loan of $6,000. They go, all right, I understand. Fuck. All right, well, I'm going to have to onion ring tower and the tuna tartare, the tuna spicy tuna, whatever you put that on. When do you put it on a pizza? Just bring it to the table. Give me a big cold beer and a fat Hispanic woman. If you can, just bring out a fat Hispanic woman with 2 children, a cold beer, and then a tower of onion rings if you can, because... But I like Yard House because it knows what it is. There's certain restaurants that know what they are. They're like, let's make the food into gimmicks because the people that eat here don't have much. And they're not, here's the other thing, Yard House. The people that eat in Yard House are not broke. It's not like Popeyes in a bad area. It's like Yard House. So what it is people who are playing this game of America. They're in the game, but it's not great. The ball's hitting them. They're not reacting. That's what Yard House is for. People that are in the game. People that are trying to sell a 2019 Chevy Silverado because they need something are eating at Yard House. That's who eats at Yard House. People that are in the game. They're not totally destitute. They're not living on the street. They're not in a tent. They're not on fentanyl. They're not shitting in a Whole Foods. But they're trying to make very small moves to better themselves. And they're doing it at a Yard House because that's a place they can let loose, have a couple of beers, watch the game, and think about how they're going to come up with the money to euthanize their dog. Because that's what that restaurant's about. It's about figuring out how to move money around so you have enough money to put your dog down. Yard House. Get the menu up at Yard House. And I can prove this. When you read the menu, you go, this is where I would go. And by the way, I like Yard House. Many times in my life, I've been a Yard House person. I've gone to Yard House. Go to the appetizers. Appetizers. Coconut shrimp. Onion ring tower. Jumbo Bavarian pretzel. This is a study of what people in this country will eat, the lower middle class. Grilled Korean barbecue beef. Wisconsin fried cheese curds. Avocado toast. Calamari. There's no theme to Yard House, by the way. The theme of the food at Yard House is anything you've heard of. Anything you've heard of and nothing you haven't. Sweet potato fries. Snacks. I like that they have an appetizer section and a snack section because it's like, you might want a snack in between the appetizer and the entree. Snacks. Guacamole. Truffle fries. Sweet potato fries. Edamame. Shiitake garlic noodles. Who doesn't want a big bowl of garlic noodles as a snack? These are just foods you've heard of. That's what Yard House is. It's foods you've already heard of, but they're here in the mall. We're not educated. It's not like, would you like some Arctic char? What? No. It's, would you, and what is this Gardein? Everything there's Gardein with a little R. Gardein wings. Gardein orange chicken. Pizzas. They got pizza too. They have something called the Vampire. A cheese, curated tortilla, carnitas, bacon, roasted garlic, crushed avocado. None of it makes sense. Sour cream, cilantro. It's just things you've heard of. Things you've heard of on a plate. Come to Yard House. We won't challenge you. You like noodles? you'll get noodles. So what is this Gardein?
It says it's a chicken substitute made from soy wheat.
Ooh, nice. Meatless. But I like Yard House. I'll go to Yard House right fucking now. And I'll talk to a divorced substitute teacher whose son is severely autistic, and she wants a white Zinfandel, and she needs an onion ring tower stat because her husband became trans and joined the military. Yard House is just a collection of simple tragedies at the Yard House. It's people that you can't really feel bad for either when they start talking. You go, ugh, can't really feel bad for you. You're kind of a terrible person. You're dumb. But it's like the Yard House when people start telling you their problems, you're like, oh, you've gone further than you should have. It'll be some guy who's like, I invested with my brother in a company that turned out not to have existed. And then like he'll start screaming like 5 minutes in about like the border. He's like, hey, it's the fucking border. They're coming over here. I'm like, wait, what? You lost all your money with your brother, you idiot. He's like, yeah, whatever. Can I have some carne asada garlic noodles? I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it. Can I have a Bavarian pretzel and an avocado toast? They have avocado toast. Can I have a Bavarian avocado toast pretzel, please? And some fucking Korean beef. I want some Korean beef and a vampire. I hope this is played at every Yard House. Every worker at a Yard House. Every Yard House worker. Because it's like sometimes attractive women, kind of. People that are excited. Like a few of them have said, oh, we're fans of your work. So I appreciate that. But you get what I'm saying here. You understand what I'm saying. Yard House, foods you've heard of. You're at a mall anyway. You're here anyway. Yard House, basically, you're at a mall anyway. These are foods you've heard of. You cannot afford your children. You cannot afford your children. Come to Yard House. Get your children a pizza and sit there and think about how you're going to get yourself out from under this mountain of debt and horrible decisions that you've made in this disgusting restaurant where you're just eating fat and sugar. You get in your car, you have a headache. You're like, I'm full in a weird way. I don't feel good. I'm having a panic attack. Should I go to the hospital? Nope, can't afford that. Just keep driving. Just keep driving with your face covered with Yard House glaze. Whatever fucking sick, disgusting sugar glaze they toss everything in. You're just like, ugh. You go back to your house. They can barely afford. You put the kids in front of the TV. They're all on drugs. They're all trans. You're happy about it. You don't care. You try to get money from the government. You go, can I get money from the government if they're trans? And your wife goes, shut up. Did you go to Yard House? Did you go to Yard House again? Stop trying to make our kids trans. Get money from the government. Did you have a Bavarian pretzel at noon? You sick fuck. It's a disgusting place. But I like it. Tim, this is great. Larry David screamed at Alan Dershowitz at a grocery store because he's mad that he's friends with Donald Trump or that he's in the Trump team. Mm-hmm. I saw you with your arm around Mike Pompeo. It's disgusting. Dershowitz goes, he's my former student in Harvard Law. I greet all of my former students that way. I can't greet my former students. David, it's disgusting. Your whole enclave, it's disgusting. You're disgusting. Then Larry walks away. Alan takes off his T-shirt to reveal another T-shirt that says, it's the Constitution, stupid. And then Dershowitz drove off in an old dirty Volvo. I love, by the way, that it wasn't that he's been accused multiple times of rape by underage people. It's that he's like a Republican. That's really, if you want to talk about Hollywood, that's the perfect encapsulation of Hollywood. You know? Mm-hmm. It would be like if Jeffrey Epstein was found out that he was alive and Larry David bumped into him in Martha's Vineyard, he'd be like, I can't believe you were such good friends with Trump. I never knew that. By the way, Dershowitz has been accused by this Virginia Giuffre.
Mm-hmm. Or Guffrey, I don't know.
Guffrey, yeah, Virginia Guffrey of molesting her, right? Multiple
years.
times?
Yeah, 7 times.
7 times?
Between the ages of 16 and 19.
Well, that's too much. Using some of the same language that he had employed to describe Epstein's victims a decade earlier, This is what Dershowitz called this woman, and this is how you know she's telling the truth. He called her a serial liar, a prostitute, and a bad mother. I mean, that sounds a bit personal for someone you didn't rape, Dersh. Can you believe that? Like, if somebody accused you of rape, wouldn't your first question be like, what? Who? How? Huh? But he's like, she's a liar, prostitute, and a bad mother. It's like, well, it sounds like you're protesting a little bit too much. In fact, I think that you know this woman quite well, and you may have done the wrong thing to her. Then he said, who could not be believed, quote, against somebody with an unscathed reputation like me. Does he have an unscathed reputation? I don't know about that. He insisted that Guthrie had, quote, made the whole thing up out of whole cloth in search of, quote, a big payday. When a TV reporter in Miami questioned his characterization of Guthrie, a sex abuse victim, as, quote, a prostitute, Dershowitz replied, she made her own decisions in life. He's basically admitting he fucked her, but he's saying she's a prostitute. Right. Who cares? She made her own decisions, even though she was underage. Yeah. So it's just very interesting. Larry David kind of like bumped into him in Martha's Vineyard and was like, hey, I cannot believe that you're a Republican. Forget the friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Forget the multiple accusations of child rape. When two people, when a Hollywood person, and I love Larry's brilliant comedian, but it's just funny. It's like, you know, you are in a little bit of a bubble, unless there's more to this, which we didn't hear, where and maybe that's part of why he's grossed out by Dersh. But like, you know, you're in a little bit of a bubble when you bump into an accused child rapist on Martha's Vineyard, and your biggest problem with them is that they're friends with the Trump team. That seems odd. Larry's a knee-jerk radical, Dershowitz told Page 6. He takes his politics from Hollywood. He doesn't read a lot. He doesn't think a lot. It's typical of what happens now on the Vineyard, says Dersh. People who won't talk to each other if they don't agree on their politics. Well, what about the child rape? I love this. He goes, it's the price of principle. This guy is he's been involved in some very nefarious dealings, and he's probably done some horrible things. And what's funny now is that he relishes this. Every time somebody yells at him about being in the Trump circle, it helps him, because what they're not yelling at him about is the credible accusations of child rape that he's also had a large part of. So like every interview he does, he's like, they get mad at me because I believe in the Constitution. It's like, that's not, Alan. You know that's not it. I just watched, by the way, The People vs. O.J. Simpson again, because it's on Netflix. It's great, and he's in that. Not him, but an actor. This is funny. That was a great, go back to that photo. It's the noted lawyer's long controversial career, and it's Jeffrey Epstein, O.J. Simpson.
Mike Tyson.
Is that Limbaugh?
I believe so, yeah.
Might be Limbaugh. It's Trump. I don't know.
This is a good article.
Alan Dershowitz, the article is Devil's Advocate. I mean, he's an amazing lawyer, right? I mean, we can't take that away from him.
Yeah, sure.
He's a great lawyer. He'll be representing the Taliban soon. The Taliban will have Alan Dershowitz, and he'll go, people are mad because I represented the Taliban. That's why they're angry. He's going to keep doing controversial things to take the heat off the whole Epstein thing. If he was smart right now, he'd be in Afghanistan defending the Taliban so that people, forget that he's been accused. I think we in the Western world, in the first world, have a privilege. Mm-hmm. And we don't realize that food is really, to many people around the world, a luxury. Mm-hmm. And like, if you're a young person that is not hungry, that is hungry, and you're in one of these countries, and you're working hard at school all day, and you're waiting for that bowl of shark fin soup when you get home, and you go, I work hard all day at school, and then you're driving a rickshaw, literal rickshaw, through the mountains with your panda friend, and you're going up hills and up and down the hills. And then you get to this lovely little rustic, little Chinese kind of like bamboo. It's kind of well appointed. And you and your panda friend get out. And mom goes, hey, and here's the shark fin soup. That's someone's culture. So to me, what you're suggesting is like someone goes, oh, I have a culture, but it doesn't matter because you want them, instead of that, to go through McDonald's, get 15 cheeseburgers, and start I don't know, vaping by the mall. But they're like, no, we have a culture too, and it's eating this soup.
I asked them about that. It actually started in the 1960s. There was a story that one of the emperors in the year 800 said, I want to eat a shark because that's the strongest animal and I want to be stronger than that. So then in the 1960s, the restaurants, the hotels were like, well, what if we served it as a gimmick and just to get people to stay here and have their weddings here? And then in 2000, China really started getting money, or 90s, it took off. It became a really expensive item. But the problem with the soup is that nobody likes it because it tastes like nothing. It's actually fishing wire. So they have to put chicken stock and pork stock, and they have to scrub it with bleach. Now, the bleach they scrub it with is the same stuff you clean your toilet with. It has neurotoxins. The bleach does not come out. They have to scrub it, bleach it, dehydrate it, rehydrate it. And it only just feels like if you bit your fingernail, that's exactly what it tastes like. So,
in fairness,
so
you're
I asked
describing 85% of American fast food.
Exactly.
As well. There's a lot. There's plastic in the yoga mats at Subway.
I know.
I'm sorry.
There's
food. Yoga mat plastic in the bread at Subway.
I don't know
they don't have yoga
do Subway
mats.
yoga.
Yeah.
The yoga mats.
I do all of my
The yoga at Subway.
But you know what I mean? Like you're making good points, but then they will turn around and they will go, you're serving people plastic.
They can say it, but here's the thing. The young generation in China, I asked them, I go, what? They don't want it at their wedding. It's the parents are doing it to show off. And I said,
be honest with you, I don't listen to the younger generation because they don't believe in tradition. They don't believe in values. Many of them have been raised on the internet. They're sick. And if you're going to have a shark fin soup, a traditional shark fin soup at the wedding, and if
you're having food that has actually no flavor and causes impotence and brain damage, which it does with the neurotoxins in the fin, and to even get it to taste like anything, you have to flavor it with either chicken stock or pork.
It's a delicacy, and it is a flex.
It's a flex, but what we realized, Beanie
like
Baby
my
drop.
fake bear. It's not 50 grand, dummies.
But we realized
it's fake.
If you have an expensive bowl of mushroom soup or lobster soup, people are just as happy. And we talked to
So the young people in China are over this.
Are over it. And the older people are just like, well, we just want to show off, give something expensive and treat our guests well. So a lot of
Should
people
we destroy every tradition that's ever existed on the planet? Like this
is a fake tradition. It was a marketing gimmick. It was never a tradition. It's not like, by the way, the Faroe Islands, they killed 165.
Have you ever had a good argument? Have you ever sat down with one of these fishermen and have they really opened your mind? When you sit down with a fisherman, like a hardy kind of old salt from Massachusetts, who's like,
the sharks must be eaten.
Yeah, but really though, has anybody opened your mind to the necessity of this? Do you see any of the arguments from the other side at all?
The only thing I can see is that in a place like Indonesia, they're starving and eating shark because there's a lack of protein. That's a serious issue because Indonesia. But what I've seen mainly is that it's like the mafia is very involved in Spain. They're huge. Spain is the #1 exporter of fins. It's a completely useless trade. There's not a single person where I sat down. I was like, and that's why you see me in the documentary and I go crazy. I'm like, but I don't understand it. Like the soup has no flavor. It has neurotoxins. None of the health stuff. Like what is it? And then it's like, oh, everyone's just making money from killing them. So why stop it? That's really the answer.
Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's certainly you have an opinion, and I think that it's valid, and I think you've done research into it. And I think that, is there not a happy medium? Oh, can we not meet in the middle?
What is the middle, though?
The middle would be viewing sharks as violent predators.
Yes.
Protecting ourselves against them.
By means of?
Well, I don't know, but
you've been in the water your whole life. You've never even seen one.
A sand shark once swam into me and was disgusted.
Don't you think that's racist against? Isn't that the definition of racism?
No,
you've heard things about it. You have actually no experience whatsoever with sharks. None. Everything is from what someone has told you and what you've read in the news. You've never experienced one. You've been in the water your whole life, and yet you still believe this. That's how strong the media is. Don't you see the brainwashing that's been the last 40 years? That's what the fishing industry wants. They like us to be terrified and angry and petrified of them instead of saying, we need them, respect them, protect them, but let's figure out a way in South Africa.
I'm only sometimes on a plane if I have nothing to do and I have the Wi-Fi, I will watch shark attacks like a lot of people. And
Shark Attack 3
or I'll watch plane crashes, which is actually kind of
Right.
ironic and fun to do in a plane. But I'll watch shark attacks because I want to know what's going on and I want to know what I'm up against. And this idea that sharks, Eli, are not violent when they are apex predators is crazy.
But that's not my position. My position is please don't kill them. We need them.
Okay, but also, how about please don't kill us, too, sharks?
Well, there's a lot of other things you want to
That
start
guy
with.
in
It's
Egypt,
12
why is the tiger shark eating him?
I don't know.
We
You'd have
don't
to
know
ask
why
the
that
tiger
happened.
shark, but the tiger sharks, it's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy.
People are going to die. Like we can't childproof the world. We can't,
What about a gate? No, I'm literally saying, what about a
They've
fence?
tried. People have tried it. It doesn't
And
work.
Why?
Because you can't build it in the ocean. The ocean moves. You can't build something that sits in the ocean that keeps sharks out.
Do we have drones that watch the sharks?
Yeah. That's
And
what
can
you
we
need.
send threatening things down? Like
There's a horn. They do shark spotters. There's a shark. People move out. 5 minutes later, shark passes. Most of the time, the sharks are there swimming with us. That's really, and we never know it because they're afraid of interaction. I'm telling you, they only go after things they know they're going to eat. And they don't eat that often. They're pelagic. They wander the globe, eating the sick and dying fish. That's what they want. And so when we're splashing around, that's mimicking when a fish is injured, it splashes.
Well, I don't like splashing, and I don't do it a lot anyway because it's kind of like low rent behavior in the
Right.
ocean.
Well,
you have to float kind of like, like you just kind of like just be quiet. I don't like a lot of splashing. I don't like a lot of loud music on the beach. I don't like a lot of fast food, like a certain type of beach. I like a couple of women in white linens, very quiet. Women don't go in the ocean. It's a little gross. And the men will go in with the children, or the housekeeper will bring the children in, but the women sit there, little white linen on the beach, reading a novel. So there's certain type of beaches that I don't go to. I mean, and God forbid, and God help us, we know a lot of what's going on in the beaches right now is crazy. But I'm just saying, I've always been a person who believes that human beings are a special and unique thing.
I know that about you.
No, I believe that.
Would you ban smoking? I mean, you're an advocate of smoking.
Well, not always, but I think there's times when a cigarette will make a situation more livable. But no, I wouldn't ban smoking. What I would say to people is, I believe human beings are special and unique, and I believe they have dominion over the animals and the beasts.
A lot of people do.
And I don't even believe that necessarily in a theological Christian way. I believe in it in a we are smarter than them. We are sharper. And we have been able to do things like make things like drive-thrus and nuclear weapons and all-inclusive resorts and things that people may not like, but they're nice.
Did you know that great white sharks speak with mouth gaping? They do this little these little jaw movements and move their fins.
And is that speaking?
That's how they communicate.
And what do they say?
Well, they go down in the bottom. They decide who's going to go up to breach. They have an order. They discuss it amongst themselves. You'll never see two sharks breach on a seal. Now, can you speak in mouth gaping and fin movements?
No, but a lot of the people I grew up with can.
Well, so there
And
you
a lot
go.
of those people decide through mouth gaping and fin movements who's going to talk to what girl and who's going to get in
Right?
what car.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of human beings that behave in a certain way. I'm just saying, I here's what I say, and this is maybe the resolution. Let's all just lighten up, right?
I agree.
Because you're making these very depressing things about, there's all the killing and the shark. Let's lighten up. The Spanish mafia, let's all have some wine and relax. Let's not go here and tell everyone how to live. That's my only problem. Eli. I go, am I out there killing a shark with a knife? No. But I'm very much, let's live and let live. Let's let people around the world do the things they want. And if it's your culture to have the shark fin soup at the wedding, I don't know if it's my job as a Western American to tell you how to live. I believe that we all share a planet. These athletes, their lives are so sad. They live in cars. It's tough. It's depressing now. These people from Appalachia that learned how to ski, and then we got to hear about how generations of their family are hooked on fentanyl and they're their only hope to get out there and do the moguls. People are tired of this. It's tiring. I don't want this anymore. We should replace the Olympics with kind of more of a gladiator type thing where it's quick, it's easy, and this whole idea of like, we need to pick a city every 4 years. Everybody bids on it. And then that city has to run around and go crazy trying to secure everything so that people can, pole vault. It's stupid. Nobody wants this anymore. Get rid of it. Everyone keeps debating NATO. What about NATO? Or should we be in NATO? Get rid of the Olympics. Get rid of it. When's the last time anybody's even been excited about it? You don't even know who's in the Olympics now. When I grew up, people cared about the people that were in the Olympics. Who are the Olympic stars now? Can you get that up? Stars of the Paris Olympics? What are the, does anyone know who these people are? Who are these people? Who are the stars of the Paris Olympics that we're all supposed to care about, by the way? Who are they?
Simone Biles was one of them again.
Is she the one who refused to compete last time? But she's better now.
I think so.
Oh, enough with her. Anyone else? Noah Lyles?
There's no Phelps.
Where are the Palestinians? Where are the Palestinian athletes this year? I'm serious. Is Gaza sending athletes to the Olympics this year? By the way, would that not send a message if during the opening ceremonies, you know how every country comes out during the opening ceremonies, they let Gaza in and all of these, because during the opening ceremonies of the games, all the countries assemble in this Olympic village. Why not have and they go, and then Gaza comes in and they've got the flag and everybody's shoeless. And it's just 200 random people from Gaza. They're not athletes, but they're just allowed to leave Gaza to go to the Olympics. And they're just in the Olympics and they're standing there and they keep going and they're going, help, help. And everyone pretends not to hear them. And the news anchors go, and that's the delegation from Gaza. Even though they've had a lot of problems this year, they still showed up. It speaks to the power of the Olympics. And they're just going, help, please help. We don't have any water. And it goes, it seems like they're screaming down there. They're so happy. They're so filled with joy to be here with all the other countries. It's really about moving on. It's really about competition, is it? My child is dead. Wow, the delegation from Gaza, really emotional. Many of them are crying at the sight of this. It's such a big deal to be here and part of the Olympics. Inside the rise of anti-work, a worker strike that wants to turn the labor shortage into a new American dream. This is like the article that Bloomberg ran that said, hey, the stores don't have any stuff in them. Maybe that's good. And, Bloomberg, the guy who runs Bloomberg is Mike Bloomberg, billionaire. Look up Mike Bloomberg's net worth. It's like $70 billion or more. This is the guy that ran for president.
59 billion.
Wow. Well, he's in the middle class. I forgot. $59 billion. He runs the publication, and Bloomberg is saying they have this article. You should find the article where it's basically like, hey, Americans may need to live like Europeans, and that's pretty damn cool. Maybe that's not the worst thing, that you go to the store and the shelves are half full.
Yeah, supply chain shortages are constraining U.S. consumers' endless appetite for buying whatever they want, whenever they want. It's about time.
Yeah, like eggs. The endless appetite for things.
After all, Americans haven't always acted like this. We've entered an age of overabundance. We consume much more than we used to and more than other countries. So they're kind of shaming us into...
Well, here's the deal. We absolutely consume too much. We're too fat. We eat too much.
The houses are too big.
Everything's too big. But the way to fight that probably is some type of spiritual renaissance where people realize that consumption in and of itself is ultimately empty and hollow. and then they need to involve themselves in more meaningful activities where they can get more out of life. That's the hard way to do it and the sustainable way. Just walking into a store and not having things doesn't seem like a real... People are still going to consume just whatever they can find. These are also the people that go, fat is great. You eat whatever you want whenever you want it. And then they're like, maybe Americans should start living like Europeans. Well, you know what that means? Not being fat slobs. But I thought that was good. Fatness is good. It's not unhealthy. Don't think it. Being 500 pounds is healthy and great and beautiful. And everybody, well, how do you get to be 500 pounds? Consuming shit. So if you say, well, we should stop consuming, what do you mean by that? Do you mean Americans should stop buying treadmills? No, you mean that people should hey, how about one loaf of bread for the week for the family? That's kind of how I read it. You don't need all the new gadgets and gizmos, a lot of them food related. But it's weird to get this article from Bloomberg. It's weird to have a bunch of billionaires go, yeah, the stores are bare. The prices of gas is up, so just drive less. Hey, you can't afford gas? Maybe you should don't go there, that place you want to go. Why don't you go to, hey, you want to go see your mother? See her less. It's very condescending and strange to tell people that they should adjust their habits when billionaires and people worth hundreds of millions of dollars have only gotten richer, have only bought more jets, have only bought more property, can only do more things, and people that aren't in that bracket can't do anything, and those people are told it's good.
They tell people to go on long bike rides rather than just drive. Because
go on a bike ride with your kids on the highway. Take your children on a bike ride on the side of the road and go to the grocery store. It's good for you. Maybe you'll all die, and we could stop hearing your mouths. Whitney Webb's coming back on to talk about this, the Great Reset. And I know that a lot of people have dismissed that as a conspiracy, and maybe parts of it are, but saying that this is restructuring the economy is not a conspiracy. It seems pretty damn accurate.